absurd seems completely sane.
What's up, everybody? I figured with the Fed meeting coming, I'll throw my 2 cents in, but I hope you enjoyed my old video. Shows you back in the day, me with hair and just getting started in the business. It was a lot more fun then. But you know what? The last couple of days was just like 1999 all over again. You had stocks trying to go down, they don't go down, and they get squeezed and they go up all day. So here's what I thought was going to happen. Oh, well, first of all, remember when the market went down last month? That was the correction. So there's 2 ways of looking at it. It's done, it happened, we move on, and we're going higher now, which is what's happening. Or if you're on that, if you're one of those guys that kept saying, well, we have to test lows of the recent move down in order to build a base for then to move higher. Thing is, if everyone's saying that, it's not going to happen. It didn't happen. It's not going to happen. Does it matter if it happens? No. Because, first of all, if you're holding positions overnight, short or long right now, except if you shorted some UVXY calls, and they took that game away from us also. If you're holding positions overnight, you're taking a risk that you don't need to be taking right now. There's so much action during the day, trading the VWAP and the reversals, that yesterday was possibly yesterday into today. Now, the reason I like VWAP and reversals, it also gives you an indication of maybe a stock's hit a bottom. So I'm going to throw some names out there, and you're going to notice how each chart looks basically the same. GoPro, GPRO, Wynn, WYNN, AMBA, AMBA. There was Twitter, TWTR. There was GMCR. Self-explanatory, GMCR, Green Mountain Coffee. Then we had WUBA, WUBA. We had Netflix, NFLX. Take a look at all those charts and put them all next to each other, and they're all going to look exactly the same. They stopped going down. Now, again, one of my favorite sayings in the business, kind of coined the phrase, is I'd rather be late and right than early and wrong. I didn't know if the stocks were going to stop going down. I didn't know that level that I was buying the futures at while the market was crashing was going to turn out to be the greatest level in the world. Yeah, sure, you had to sit through 100 points more on the downside before, oh, maybe not 100, but about 50 more points at the downside. But that 40 level on the NQ futures turned out to be, you know what, who cares? What's going to happen tomorrow is really what, if you watch these videos, which I know you don't. Nobody watches a video that I make and says, hey, that guy's making a good point, let me take some action and do it. I would go ahead and say 0.1% of you guys out there actually watch the video and say, wow, this guy just made some valid points, let me act on that. I don't suggest you do that either. All right. But the bottom line is, and I hate saying this over and over again, I got 10 guys that I hang out with, and every single one of them had Alibaba options. This is a stock. Alibaba, I didn't mention it before, Alibaba is my most hated stock. My belief that this company is going to be going down in history as the biggest scam since Enron and WorldCom. That being said, yesterday we were short and the stock broke back over the 1-minute VWAP and reversed and went green. Now, for a guy that's been bashing this stock since it came out, since it was over, once it hit 120, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, I think it's going to 50 or 40, 30, $20. I don't know where it's going to go, nor do I care. I've accepted the fact that I have no idea what the stock market's going to do, nor do you, nor does really anybody else except, obviously, the guy that's controlling it, and there's like 3 of those guys, and they don't tell anybody what's going to happen ahead of time. The only way you can do it is trading reversals and VWAP. Now, a lot's happened since we last spoke, okay? And a lot of this is going to roll into the idea where a lot of people want to know, if I'm such a great trader, why do I run a room? Why do I ask people for money? If I'm trading 200 shares of Netflix, right, and it goes up $1. What have I made? I've made $200. The call was fantastic. I was suggesting maybe some $97 calls at the time. Did I get them at the price I wanted to? No, so I didn't want to pay up for them. But let's take, for an example, 10 guys are in a room, or maybe you're one of the guys that I trade for, or whatever the case. If there's 50 people, 100 people in the room, and I'm buying my 200 shares of Netflix, but everyone else is also using my advice and using my expertise to also buy 200 shares of Netflix, then we're all making money. And then if the people that are there for the first time say, hey, wow, that was a nice call, next thing you know, somebody's paying me for what I know. So then not only am I making money on the 200 shares of Netflix, but I'm also making money because I'm helping somebody find the next Netflix and the next Alibaba and the win. Now, guys, let me tell you something. This has been one of those 2-day periods where I'm not happy. I mean, I had Alibaba, 1,000 shares, made $400. Stock's up 6 points since I sold. So am I good or am I bad? I look at that as a fail. I had win yesterday, coming off the lows. Just 300 shares. I made $100 on it. Then it went up 4 more so far since then. So am I a good trader or a bad trader? I look at that as a fail. The moral of the story is every trade I did over the last couple of days has gone higher, obviously, because the market's going higher. Bristol Myers, Win. I mean, the list goes on and on. But if you're a paying member to what I'm trying to do, not only am I showing you how to find these ideas and when to dip your toe into a GoPro or an Alibaba. And again, the best part about the Alibaba trade is knowing when you're wrong and then going the other way because the market knows more than you do. Just do what the market's telling you. Now, going back to that UVXY, this has been the heartbreak of a century. Obviously, we had the calls at $4.85. We sold them at $6.08, and I think they went to $50. So that was a heartbreaker. But as you know, the UVXY is a busted product that normally just disintegrates and goes down because of contango and the futures contracts that expire. If you don't know about the UVXY, feel free to email me at kennyglick@AOL.com. That's my new email address, kennyglick@AOL.com. I like AOL addresses. I never have any glitches with AOL. I know it's so old school and people laugh, but just use that email address. Very simple to remember. It's my name at AOL.com. Now, a few weeks ago, because of the volatility, the UVXY is now 100% marginable security, meaning that you have to lay out a lot more money to sell premium, which is what we were doing. Now, the free gift that they gave us was that they created, when this thing hit $90, next thing you know, they were $100 calls, they were $120, they went all the way out to $170. So at that point, if you didn't think the market was going to crash, the $170 calls for January that I sold at around $12 now are $3. And yeah, it feels great to make some money on a trade like that, but normally I would have sold 10 contracts and it would have been a nicer trade. But because the margin requirement became so large, I was only sell 2. So what could I do? And then obviously once they tanked, again, I was looking for these things to break 63 and then go back down to 50. We're at 41 now. Maybe you're starting to realize that if you can take the pain, UVXY is a fantastic vehicle to be trading. But on the flip side, if you couldn't short the UVXY, there's the XIV. Now, I wish this thing had options. This doesn't even have any options. So as the UVXY is going down, you buy the XIV, which goes up as the UVXY is tanking. And obviously, we had it, about 23.50 the other day, and now it's at 30. And beg me, where do you think I sold it? If I bought it at 23.50, you guessed it, $24. 50 cents on 1,000 shares. Wow. Good trade? Nope. Something that goes up $5 after you sell it, you're an idiot. So basically all these trades that I've done and they made a little bit of money on all turned out to be monster trades, meaning, in a sense, that I am the worst trader on earth because I don't hold my winners. Now, again, when I get out of my stock, I suggest to people here, you might want to be selling some. The thing is, a lot of times I'm not in a big enough position where I could piece out of anything. I got 200 shares of Netflix. What am I going to sell? 2 shares at a time? If I got 300 shares of Win, what am I going to do? Sell 100, sell 100, sell 100? Sure, you can, but these are not large positions. So generally, I offer it out, I make some money, and then I pray and hope that they go back down. And now that the market is back to its we never go down mode, and yeah, I'm almost there. Okay, I haven't bought the QQQ calls back yet because I tried to buy the 120s for January 17 for $385 and I still haven't gotten any. But the main part of what I'm trying to get to you is that there's no reason to take any extra risk when you've got this much intraday action. But if you don't want to sit at the computer and you just want stock ideas sent to your phone via email or text or Skype, I could do that for you also. Because that's all I'm doing. I'm sitting here, I trade 3 or 4 times a day, if that, and then I'm pretty much free to start doing my education again. So if you're thinking about getting into this industry, let me be the guy that helps you through the learning curve. Sure, somebody out there is probably thinking, well, you can't complain if you're making money. Yeah, you can. Oh, you can. Big time. Big time. Because when you've taken so many big, awful hits, oh, by the way, for you guys out there that are short in the market, once again, if you stay for an extra day or two, you've lost all your money again. So all you guys that are claiming that you're short in the market all the time, you're not. You're lying. Or you just have so much money that you just want to throw it away. Because if you didn't cover your BABA or your GoPro or your win yesterday, I mean, how many signs do you need that the market's not going down at the moment? You see what I said there, right? At the moment. Do I know what's going to happen tomorrow? No, but I'm going to tell you what I think's going to happen. The market, with its China chaos and systemic risk, and I don't even think they said the word systemic risk on that last sell-off in August. But we were afraid of China and we were afraid of interest rates, right? So now, if they raise interest rates tomorrow, the market will have a knee-jerk reaction down and then will probably rally for the next 492 days. I'm only kidding. I didn't really say that. Maybe it won't rally every day for the next 492 days. But what I'm saying is once we get the interest rates out of the way, I think the knee-jerk reaction is going to be down, and then we're going to have one of those rallies. Now, my error of judgment was I thought, and I haven't even got to the 9/11 no terrorism holiday weekend market rally that we've had. Let me just address that. If you don't know, since 9/11, every holiday weekend where nothing happens, we usually gap up and rally for 3 to 5 days. Here's what we got. So if you guys are out there wondering, why is the market rallying? It has a little bit to do with that relief that nothing bad happened again around 9/11. I'm telling you, there's something to it. There's something to it. The 9/11 post-holiday weekend, gap and go, that was Labor Day. We had that, and then nothing happened on 9/11, so we had that. Memorial Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all those holidays. You'll start to notice, if you haven't noticed over the last 14 years, start to take notice of it now. But the most important thing was, when did I tell you I'd start being bullish again? When the UVXY collapses. When the VIX collapses, that is telling you that the players, the people, the powers that be have cashed out of their S&P puts and the market's ready to go higher. So as soon as we hit, I think it was 92, we closed that day at 88. Next thing you know, we're at 75, and then all blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, 65, 55, 40, and now we're at 41. That's how quickly it happens. Now, here's the thing. You think, Oh, wait, it's September. We got this volatility. Why isn't volatility going up? This should be the most crucial, most volatile time ever. We got the first interest rate monster meeting. What if they raise interest rates? Won't volatility go through the roof? No, because it did already. It's done. Again, if I'm wrong about that, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because tomorrow, if the volatility spikes up, first of all, I'm not going to be trading tomorrow at all, unless my scenario plays out. If the market starts tanking, but then maybe hangs on, again, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to try to do it live, and that's what I do. If you, again, I don't know how many times I've said this in the past, if you want to see what I do live, you got to be there live. Now, the only stock I own right now, obviously, wait, let's address one thing. SPCB has turned into a complete failure. So once again, any stock that I own for more than 3 months, I lose money on. Guaranteed. There's something about it. If I try to become an investor in a company, I am the destroyer of all things good. I could take a good company, if I buy stock in it, I will destroy it. Like holding on to Rig at 20 bucks. Remember, we were so proud. We bought it at 18 and it went to 21. We were feeling so good about ourselves and it went all the way down to 11. Well, it's back to 16 or whatever, but still. But the only stock I own right now, because of the value that I see in it, and any stock I own right now, if I'm planning on holding it for at least a month or 2 months or 3 months, I'm actually going to plan on holding it forever. And that's Alcoa. I had to put some money into Alcoa, considering I was on the radio saying if there was one stock on the planet that I had to buy right now, it'd be Alcoa at $8.85. Now, I bought some at $8.85, I bought more at $8.50, and I bought more at $8.20. Thank God it bounced at around $7.90, and now we're closing back in on $10. So, as an investment, percentage-wise, if your cost average is $8.50 and something's at $10, you've done pretty well for yourself, especially in the time frame that we're in. GMCR, another one. Here's a stock that even when it crashed, I was like, nah, this thing's not even done. I thought maybe it was gonna break 60, go to 50, maybe even go back to 40 bucks. Again, I don't know. Maybe they're just gonna wait for the next earnings report to come out and crack it down another 15 points. Long story short, there was a gap to be filled, broke back above a VWAP, got some momentum and went green, had some positive catalysts on some news, whatever the case was, and it became a great buy. So a few of the stocks that I hated the most became my favorite stocks, Alibaba and GMCR. That's the idea of trading. Who cares what you think? You do what you see. All right? So here's where we're at. I'm a complete fucking loser. That's where we're at. Because I'm the only guy that, and again, I made $880 yesterday, right? And if I had just slipped into a coma, even on my measly positions that I had, it would have been another $5,000 today alone. All right? Now, let's take it into consideration. Maybe if I wasn't such a half a fag and I had some balls, and I put maybe 10 contracts on alongside all these nice bottom fishes that I had, we're talking about a $20,000, $30,000 day. And that's not even an exaggeration. That's easy. I mean, for a second there, I was like, hey, these $85 puts on the UVXY for $5, this thing could tank 20 points in a heartbeat. Did I do it? No. No, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. The GMCR 58.50 calls when I was liking them at 50 cents. I was like, yeah, I could buy 20 contracts. It's $1,000, and they went up to $250. That's another $5,000 right there. The list goes on and on and on. But here's the thing: if you're having trouble finding ideas, if you just want ideas, if you want to learn how to trade, find the ideas yourself. If you just want the ideas, you don't even care about the market. You just want to say to your friend, I got a guy who texts me. Picks, I do what he tells me. He tells me when to get in, he tells me when to get out, and I'm making money. I could do that for you also. All right? So I'd rather teach you, but what I'm going to do is dedicate a year of your life to me. And within 3 months, you'll be pretty much secure on how to find your ideas, what you're looking for, how the VWAP works, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to give you good ideas, and I'm going to teach you about options, and I could be a friend to you. What movie? I could be a friend to you. All right. So that's it. Last week, and there's always something coming up in my life. I'm sheetrocking, or the market's rallying 700 points, and I'm in Hershey Park, or I'm doing sheetrocking in one of the apartments that I own when the market's tanking and I miss a nice sell-off. So I work at a very leisurely pace, and if you're getting into the industry right now as a beginner, I'm your guy, because I won't even let you trade for at least a month and a half, 2 months, until you're perfectly secure. You got to learn the software, what buttons to press, how to read the charts, how to set up your ticker, how to set up your other ticker, how to set up your alerts. There's a million things to learn. I do it all for you, and I hold your hand for a year. So reach out to me, Kenny Glick, that's my name. If you didn't know. Now you know. I've been doing this my whole life. And right now, somebody says, well, I thought you said you weren't trading anymore. This is not trading to me. Trading is sitting there all day, large positions, managing the positions, swing trading, investing, and day trading all combined. I'm only doing just a smidge. What I'm doing is I'm keeping myself in the game so that I could educate other people. The idea is that if I could just get 500 or 1,000 people to follow me, then everybody's making money. I'm getting paid. So my 200 shares of Netflix trade doesn't seem so insignificant anymore. You understand what I'm saying? I think you do. So, and listen, guys, if you don't realize, we had a 10% correction, and the media did a great job at scaring the shit out of us, right? It was the end of the world. CNBC had to make a special Sunday night show just to try to calm us down, but all that did was make it so much worse. Oh my God, CNBC's got oh my God, well, on a Sunday night, to scare the living shit out of us. Why do you think we had the flash crash on the following Monday? Come on.
Oh, there was plenty of orders at the open.
The system's broken, all right? And every once in a while, it gets proved that it's broken. One of these days, we're going to flash crash, and it's not going to come back in a day or two or 3 days or a week and a half. One day, it's going to be for real. And then, hopefully, you're not in anything. Again, if you're going to own something right now, and like I said, I got 2,000 shares of Alcoa, right? If it goes out of business and goes to zero, sure, it's going to suck. But if I lose $16,000 tomorrow, my life won't be over. Don't own stocks. And I know this sounds so stupid. Don't own stocks unless you could withstand the pain of the stock going down 50% minimum tomorrow, maybe even 100% in 2 days. I know that's crazy.
I got 200 shares of Alibaba. It's not going to go to zero, is it?
Chances are it's not going to go to zero tomorrow. But if you're going to own stocks, short, long, be prepared for the worst case scenario to happen. And then actually you can sleep better. If you're okay with the worst case scenario happening, then you can own stocks. Or you just play the reversals and some option plays. I mean, we had Twitter options today at $1.06. They went to $1.16, so I sold them. And then I didn't sell them all. I bought $1.06. I sold 16, 26, and 36. Now, I had 20 contracts. This is the kind of position where I was like, wow, it's reversing, it's going green, it's breaking VWAP. Maybe I should buy 100 calls here. Do I do it? No, because I'm a pussy. But if everybody in the room would have done it, everybody made money, it makes me feel better. Plus, you're getting what you pay for. All right, my friends. You know how to find me, I think, at this time. My new website should be up and running soon. Listen, the way I like to do it, I'm very leisurely. I'm very laid back. You want to learn, it's going to be at my pace. I'm up all night. If you guys out in the West Coast, you want to learn about some options or something, I'm very laid back. And, I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it, my friends. But again, it's to the point where making $200 on a trade, it's almost not worth it to me, because the frustration that ensues after the fact, it's a killer. It's a killer. And you want to know why I don't have hair? Part of it's that, because basically every trade I've ever done has gone after I've gotten out. Every single one of them, except no. I was gonna say Enron, but I owned Enron up until it went to zero. So, all right, enough of that stuff. Reach out, and hopefully tomorrow's exactly how it plays out. I'd like to see a volatility spike, market going down. We buy everything in sight, and the market rallies Thursday, Friday, gaps up Monday, and then all the fear and all the concern about September being a bad month, it'll be gone in a second. But if I'm wrong, guess what? Doesn't make a difference. If UVXY goes green or stays green, do me a favor. Here's an idea. Send me an email right now. I'll send you a link to get into the room. There's no passwords. There's no cost to you. There's no credit cards. I'll let you hang out. And come see what goes on. My buddy Mike's in there making some sick calls off the fades in the morning. I come on. I talk about VWAP and reversals. We got another guy who's always watching the UVXY, and he's a volatility trader. So we got some good stuff going on. All right? See ya.